Welcome to the Love What Matters podcast. I'm Amy from The Bobby Bones Show, and if you're not sure about Love What Matters, I'll tell you. I begin with a simple premise. That there's obviously plenty of places to go if you want negative news, but where do you go when you want the good news? When you want to feel inspired? Well, you can turn to Love What Matters, where people just like you share their feel-good stories about things that matter. And then on the podcast, we bring you these stories. Like today, for example, you're going to be inspired by toothpaste. Bet you didn't know that was possible. And then we're going to find out what led to a $500 tip at a restaurant. We have a little bit more for you as well, and an interview with this guy, Danny, who, this sunflower, he gave it to someone, and what happened after that is the craziest thing ever. You will get goosebumps, I promise. A special shout out to Salon right now, though, for bringing us this podcast where they offer professional grade, completely personalized hair color created just for you and delivered to your door. More on how you can save money with that later, but let's get started with the podcast.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, so the first story we're going to start with is about a plate of toothpaste, but it's so much more than that. Amy Beth Gardner, she's the mother of a daughter about to attend middle school. And to prepare her for this new chapter of life, Amy Beth did something unique. She handed her daughter a tube of toothpaste and asked her to squirt it out onto the plate. She then asked her to put all the toothpaste back in the tube. Her daughter began to protest, saying, yeah, I can't. It's not going to work. It won't be like it was before. Amy Beth then told her daughter, "You will remember this plate of toothpaste for the rest of your life. You're going to have the opportunity to use your words to hurt, demean, slander, and wound others. And just like this toothpaste, once the words leave your mouth, you can't take them back. Be known for your gentleness and compassion. Use your life to give life to a world that so desperately needs it. You will never, ever regret choosing kindness." Okay, so obviously Amy Beth seems like a pretty amazing mom. And yes, this is an awesome lesson for someone entering middle school. But I think we can all learn from this little toothpaste demonstration. Words hurt, and we need to stop and think before we speak. And we've all said things that we regret, but I like that Amy Beth is encouraging her daughter to be known for gentleness and compassion and kindness. And we should all strive for that every day.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, so we all have that moment when we see the lights flashing behind us when we're driving. We're like, oh, no, I'm getting pulled over. I'm going to get a ticket. So that's what happened when Lee Riley Freeman was pulled over for a dead headlight. She totally assumed a ticket was coming. She told the officer that she had a bulb in the car but hadn't been able to replace it. Well, Officer Adrian McKinney asked to see the replacement bulb. He then spent the next 20 minutes fixing the bulb for her. And as Lee said in her post that she put up on the Love What Matters Facebook page, he could have written me a ticket, but he took an oath to protect and serve, and he did just that tonight. He served her. I love positive stories about police officers, and this one, it's just definitely a feel-good story. So shout out to Officer Adrian McKinney for helping out this woman. She just needed the extra time to change the headlight. I know I got pulled over recently, no joke, because my headlight was out. I didn't have an extra bulb, so the officer didn't change it, but he did just give me a warning. And then the next day I got it fixed. So anyway, shout out to our police officers that are protecting and serving.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, so how do you know a hair color is absolutely perfect for you? Well, you got to check out Salon, where they offer professional grade, completely personalized hair color created just for you and is delivered right to your door. So with Salon, this is pretty cool. You just fill out a questionnaire, then you upload your photo, and your personal colorist is going to formulate your color from over 15,000 pigments. Your unique Salon color then gets delivered to your door with your name on the bottle, sort of special, and instructions on how to get the hair the way you want it. If you've got questions, the color experts at Salon, they're just a call away. Seriously, it couldn't be any easier. Maybe you've got a colorist you love to go to, but you could use Salon for your in-betweens, or you could save money by doing it at home. Visit esalon.com/love now. New customers are going to receive 50% off their first box. That's just $10 for your personalized hair color. Get 50% off your first box at esalon.com/love right now. That's esalon.com/love. Okay, now it's time to tell you about that $500 tip that I teased you with in the beginning. Casey Simmons was working as a waiter in Dallas, Texas, when a stranger came in and ordered the cheapest item on the menu, flavored water for 37 cents. When Simmons returned to collect the bill, he found a $500 tip. So get this. A day earlier, Simmons was grocery shopping when he noticed an elderly woman, clearly upset, and he began to talk with her, complimented her. He even paid for her groceries. He never learned why she was so distraught. Well, fast forward again to the next day, and along with that $500 tip was a note from the daughter of the elderly woman. Yeah, she wrote on a napkin that she was so grateful for his kindness. The elderly woman had lost her husband 3 years earlier, and that day that he saw her at the grocery store was the anniversary of his death. In the note on the napkin, the daughter said, "You made my mother's day wonderful. You insisted on paying. You told her she is a very beautiful woman. I have not seen my mom smile this much since Dad died." Oh, okay. That's a pretty amazing story. Like, if you're not feeling anything from that, then I don't know, you might need to get something checked out, because it's like twofold. Like, he did something awesome for this daughter's mom who was having a hard day, and then she went around and found out who he was and went and gave him a $500 tip. Pretty cool.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, so this is pretty cool. We got Danny Wakefield on the phone for the last part of the podcast. Hey, Danny.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, okay, all right. If you guys are not familiar with Danny, he pretty much has gone viral for doing something pretty amazing, all involving a sunflower. I mean, it basically started with a sunflower, right, Danny?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you purchased a sunflower. You originally had intended to give it to someone you were going on a date with. Then you thought, okay, I'm just going to give this sunflower to a stranger. And then that's when you saw a woman in a coffee shop crying, and you knew that she was the one.
I had this sunflower, and there was something about it that I felt as soon as I purchased it. It just had this glow about it, and I knew that I didn't want that to go to waste. And so I went to this coffee shop, my usual coffee shop that I go to, and I was sitting there. I had about 15 minutes before my work shift started. And I was sitting there drinking my coffee, and I saw this woman crying. And as soon as I laid eyes on her, this feeling of warmth took over my entire body, and my hair on my arms stood up. And I knew in that moment that she was exactly who that sunflower was intended for. I had to stand up in that moment and walk over to her. And I was terrified, because it's never easy to approach a stranger, but
right.
It's also, it felt like the next thing to do.
Like magnetic almost.
Yes, like something I couldn't say no to. So I approached her table and I said, "I have this sunflower that I got for somebody special, and that somebody didn't work out, but I can feel that you two are special, so I'd like you to have it." And before I could even...
Oh, my gosh.
Before I could even hand her the sunflower, she flew up from her chair into my arms with so much force that I flew backwards a little bit, and she just started sobbing on my shoulder and squeezing me in this way that I could feel the love. I could feel that she felt as though I was somebody she had once really, really loved and lost and had just seen again. And we were both crying at this point, and she said to me that her fiancé had died the week before, just a few months before they were going to get married in Washington. On the first date, he had brought her a sunflower, and from then on, he had only gotten her sunflowers because she was the light of his life.
Oh, my goodness.
At this point, we're both sobbing, and we're still hugging, and I didn't want to let her go. And so we just stood there for what seemed like forever, hugging and sobbing. And eventually, I realized I was going to be late for work. And so I said, "Thank you for that moment," because I could feel in that moment, as much as her life had changed, my life had changed as well.
Oh, for sure.
And I knew moving forward that showing up in the world with kindness was going to be the most powerful act of love that I could have, not only for myself, but for others as well.
Wow, Danny, I mean, the entire time, obviously, you can't help but get choked up hearing you. I mean, I've read the story, but hearing you tell it even brings back more emotion than I had the first time I saw it, because you shared the story with Love What Matters. Then it went viral with like over 200,000 reactions, 94,000 shares. And I mean, that's obviously people just responding to your story. I mean, not many people are have that happen to them in life,
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
that's an experience you will never forget, and she will never forget. Like what a special moment. No wonder it's been shared so much. And speaking of the shares and all the different people like reaching out, like what's been different since this story went viral for you?
Everything's been different. Some of those things include I've been receiving messages and people reaching out to me from all over the world, people who have just lost loved ones, mothers and daughters and sons and lovers, and they feel a little bit less hurt today than they did yesterday because of that. And some of the most important messages, not most important, but ones that have also really touched me are the ones that have come from people who have been committing themselves to going out and creating these moments of kindness and spreading what has now become the Sunflower Challenge and spreading the love in a way that everybody is capable of doing, even if that means showing a smile or saying hi to someone or helping somebody carry groceries out to their car. So that's really been one of the most heartwarming things that I've gotten from this, is seeing how kindness can spread like wildfire.
I mean, what I love about it is it definitely offers that glimmer of hope, which I think you've seen from the emails that you've received from people. And then it does put the challenge out there to spread the joy.
Yes, exactly.
Have you had any communication with the woman that you gave the sunflower to?
I have not. I've been hoping that she will reach out to me.
I mean, do you even know who she is? Like her name or anything?
No, I didn't get her name or anything.
Wow.
No.
Maybe she's listening to the Love What Matters podcast. Maybe.
Exactly.
If you happen to be listening, woman who got the sunflower that is helping create this crazy sunflower challenge, she can... Do you care if I share your email?
Of course not. I mean, go for it.
Okay.
Of course.
So Danny's email is aworldforpeace@gmail.com. So if anybody wants to connect with him on any of this, especially Sunflower Lady, or if you happen to know Sunflower Lady, aworldforpeace, 4, at gmail.com. Correct. Well, Danny, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story with Love What Matters. Thank you to everyone out there that shared this story and kept spreading it. That way people can read it and they can feel inspired. Because without people sharing it, we're never going to know. And we're never going to be motivated to go and do things like you chose to do that day. So we really, really appreciate that and you coming on with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you again for sharing the love and spreading the kindness.
Love always wins. Right?
Exactly.
Should we say it together?
It sure does.
Should we try? Should we say it together? Okay.
Yes.
We'll try to do it in sync. 1, 2, 3. Love. Oh, wait.
Love
We already messed up.
always wins.
Okay, wait. Back up. Okay, we'll start over. 1, 2, 3. Love.
Love always.
There must be a delay. Okay. You count, and I'll follow you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Love always wins.
There's quite a delay.
There's a delay. So thanks for playing. Everyone just, try to stay along with us if you're listening in your car or whatever you're doing right now. Okay, Danny, well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Amy. You too.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?